Hello and welcome back to Birth Back to the Wild. My name is Jessica Olson and I'm your host. Today's episode is going to be it's going to be a deeper topic, something that I could probably talk forever about. It's going to be about mothering with your instincts and what that really means. Because we've really been through so many different, I don't know if smear campaigns is the right word for it, too many different paradigms that are trying to alter and really suppress the instincts of women, our instincts to be home with our babies, our instincts to birth freely, our instincts to be fully autonomous and sovereign as birthing women, as mothers, and as women in general. But I see it show up so much more prominently in motherhood because of how we are taught to be more independent, career driven women who can shoot for the stars, have that amazing career, do whatever you want to do. And then we get lost in that kind of seeking of everything for status and money and success, that we get lost and have forgotten our intuitive and biological instincts for motherhood. And we get in our intellectual mind of justifying all the things culturally of what we think we should be doing to empower, quote unquote, women more. So I say this as someone who always viewed herself as a feminist. In my teens and 20s, I was a very, very, very liberal person, very progressive minded. Um, I did a lot of partying. I went the route of college to get the big career. And then I became a mom. And it's like this crazy moment happens where you have your children, you have the intentions of going back to work. I fully intended to go back to work after having my first child. And then the moment came, and I was like, oh, I started to go back to work. I started working part-time hours initially. I was working as a personal trainer and yoga instructor. I was teaching fitness classes. I would literally leave for a couple hours at a time and would leave our first son with a friend of mine, actually, because I was very adamantly against a daycare environment. He was 3 months early or 3 weeks early because I was induced for preeclampsia. I had trouble getting my milk production in, so we were trying to use donor milk in an SNS system. Bottles were difficult because he didn't want them. It was easy. Breastfeeding is a lot easier. Not easier. It wasn't easy. It didn't come easy because my milk took forever to come in. It was quite the challenge. It really took many months to get in the groove of breastfeeding with him because I had no preparation, no guidance. I had no understanding of what was to come because no one told me. It's not a discussion we talk about. Everyone's so quick to hand you formula when things get difficult. And then if you don't want formula and you're committed to breastfeeding and making it work, you're kind of looked at weird of like, it's not that bad. Like there's a defensive mechanism, I think, with women who have used formula to where if you don't want to use formula, there's kind of this defensive like, well, what's wrong with formula? I used it. My friends used it. My mom used it. So there's kind of this defensiveness, I think, that comes up when people kind of recommend formula, and it seems this normal scenario. It's common, but that doesn't mean it's normal. Formula is a synthetic substance. It's not natural. It's a commercially made substance. So for anybody to suggest that formula, any formula, is equal to breast milk is wrong. Period. 100% wrong for several reasons. One, breastfeeding, your milk is created perfectly for your baby. The saliva that comes back on your breast, it stimulates your milk production and it produces milk specifically for your baby. That does not happen with formula. There's many synthetic ingredients. There's too much. I mean, for one, there's a lot of dairy in it, casein. There's many allergens in formulas that are literally creating allergies and poor gut health in babies at it starting in infancy. And then if you use a soy milk of some sort, you're adding extra um, amounts of estrogen in your baby if it is soy milk based formula, which is what I had as a baby. There's so many different ways that I can even break down as a nutritionist why formula is completely inferior to breast milk. Does that mean someone is wrong or bad or a crappy mother for using formula? No, but we have to be honest. Being in integrity is having honesty about these conversations to try to kind of dismiss the immense difference between formula and breast milk is, for me, a huge factor in why we're seeing such profound health issues in children today because of the amount of formula that is thrown around like it's the same as breast milk, but it's not. If you've ever been a mom, you know how breastfeeding is just, it's so natural. Can it be difficult to catch on sometimes? Are there challenges? Of course there are, but does that mean it's not worth having? It's not worth going through for the benefit of, one, just the biological connection and bonding involved with nursing your baby. Two, the immune building functions, the benefit to your baby by having pure human breast milk made perfectly for them. There's just a unique and incomparable bonding that happens between a mom and baby when you breastfeed. Period. Two, I also found it much easier when you combine breastfeeding with bed sharing. We're also told all the time about how dangerous it is to bed share. And that is all by design as well. Everything that you're told by like industries that sell products, allopathic medicine, allopathic drugs, formula companies, the so-called experts, all of them are working by design to disconnect you from your instinctual nature, your instincts that you need to learn to trust. So to mother with your instincts is to trust your divine design and guidance over anybody else. You know more about you and your baby than anybody else can. I don't care what expert is speaking to you. Listen to your instincts. Because I can say I never planned to co-sleep. We had the whole crib set and everything set up in a separate room for our first son. Never used it. Not once. Because it's so much more convenient and beneficial for everybody to bed share and breastfeed because you find the flow in being able to kind of roll over and give your baby the breast to fall asleep with. It's a comfort for your baby. It gives them a sense of safety and comfort along with the feeding. So you're not up all the time in the nights trying to make bottles, trying to console your baby, walking around, having to go on drives to try to get them to sleep because they don't want to sleep in their crib. It's because they want to sleep with you. That is a primal nature instinct, or a primal natural instinct, a survival instinct that literally every infant that has ever existed in this world will have. So why are we trying to deny it to benefit the modern world so that you can teach your baby to shut down their emotional system, to shut down their need to attach to their mothers so that they can more easily disconnect from their moms to be sent to daycare so mom can go to work. That is the design. Disconnect you at birth by all the drugs or C-sections. It disturbs that initial golden hour after having your baby where you connect and bond and breastfeed. It disconnects the breastfeeding relationship when they quickly hand you formulas, get you bottle feeding. It disconnects you from that. It disconnects you from the co-sleeping bond, that attachment, that secure attachment. Get your baby in a crib, sleep train, cry it out. It's all a design to disconnect mothers from their babies so that they can go back to work in a workforce and send their kids to daycare and then send their kids to schools. It's a design of a modern society, but it is not a design that nurtures the attachment and instinctual needs between mother and baby. It's basically a way of training mom and baby to separate so that they can go their separate ways into the rat race world. And then we wonder why there's such a huge amount of postpartum depression in women, so many emotional development issues in children, tantrums, depressions, and once they get into teen years. There's so much that is connected to that. So that initial, from the womb to about the first 3 years of life for a baby is crucial to the root chakra foundation being built. Those years are creating the foundational structure of the energetic and emotional system of a baby for the rest of their life. It's creating that root chakra. And if everything is about disconnection, that is not helping to create a secure attachment with the mother, and mother primarily. Dads are involved as well, but this is a secure attachment with mom. The instinct in biology is that mom and baby are connected. Period. It can't be replicated by the father. You can try, but it's not the same. So when this culture continues to work to fracture that attachment with mom and baby, it is by design. It is destroying the nuclear family. The secure and comfortable, conscious parenting, that instinct and attachment based parenting that involves mom being with her babies. That doesn't mean that she can't do other things and also go for her desires at some point, little by little. You can create room for that as well. But to understand how that bond is initially created, how it creates that energetic and that root chakra is what develops our sense of safety in this world, our right to be here, our groundedness in the body, our comfort, safety, security, and protection. And when that is severed, when it is not properly developed in those first 3 years of life, because of all the disconnection from mom, from both parents, left on your own, forced to shut down your emotional system in order to accommodate the parent leaving you, it's emotionally neglectful. It is. And it creates traumas so that that root chakra is not properly developed. And then that child will then continue growing up ungrounded in their body. It's like there's a disconnection from the root of your body, and you kind of come in and out. You're not rooted firmly into the vessel that you're in. The soul, literally your soul and energy essence, is not grounded deeply into the body. So there's all these ways of seeking validation, escaping from pain, escaping from emotions, wanting to disconnect from the body and the pain that you're feeling and all these emotions because you weren't attached. You didn't get that secure safety from a parent in the first few years of life. All you received was that the neglect, the emotional neglect and disconnection. So you don't even have that proper initial structure of rooted groundedness and safety in this world. So from there, um, it's appropriate to also then move into being able to stay home as a mom if possible. You can do part-time work, or kind of offset with dad's schedule, or have a grandparent help if you want to work part-time or you need to financially. But then they progress from that daycare situation directly into school. So like there is no home structure that is truly built because you're separate for so much of the day. Um, and then sent to school. So there's really no space for that true connection with the parent. Um, so I'd encourage breastfeeding, bed sharing, staying home as much as you can, and homeschooling. If you really want to nurture that nuclear family, that family first, your kids, your children, your connected parenting, instinctual parenting should always come first before anything else. And I know I'm a single mom of three, so I, for one, understand the difficulties in society today and the financial struggles. However, when you are connected with those instincts and your own intuition, you will do whatever you can to nurture that connection with your children and prioritize them. Because what's more important than your children? Literally, what's more important than that? Like, that is such a divine role in this world. Like, what is the meaning of life if it's not to truly be there and nurture your children into existence and hold that connection for them to go out into the world? And it all begins with a wild and free and self-led pregnancy and birth. Because once you're already in pregnancy and you are offsetting your responsibility and accepting all of the advice and recommendation and requirements of a OB or midwife, and not your own inner instincts and intuition, you're already giving up a sense of your own sovereignty, and you're not listening to your own instincts. You're already giving that consent away and having other people make decisions for you. So to come back into our bodies and get truly, truly radical is to really reject the modern obstetric system, because all of it is designed for the disturbance and intervention by a medical governing body. And it does not serve the instinct of mothers in no way, shape, or form. That doesn't mean that it doesn't save lives sometimes, that it doesn't have a necessity. However, in a normal birth, there is no need to go to a doctor. It is not a medical event, nor should it be treated like a medical event. And when you tune into your divine instincts, you will know when something is truly off. Your instinct will know. That inner spiritual guidance, that connection with your baby, really learning to tune in with it all. Tuning back into that body, that deep embodiment is what regrounds you. Because let's be honest here, the ancestral traumas that are causing us to continue this disconnection from our babies is often what we experienced as babies. So we are also ungrounded and not secure in our own bodies. So we must first, as women, reconnect our own embodied instincts so that we can nurture that connection with our babies and allow them to be raised in a secure and safe and connected environment so that they don't experience the same type of traumas and fractured connections that we did. We are here to end those patterns of insecure attachment. We are here to end it. And that starts with instinctual motherhood. And that is a big piece of my program that I'm creating that begins with Purify, which I'm launching this month. I'm having the event on January 18th. If you want to join in the live workshop and join in the Q&A, go to my website and register. It's just a $20 event. It's going to be more expensive on my website once I upload it there for sale. So catch it at its lowest rate. And then I also will be creating the Awaken, which is going to be more dedicated to the birth experience. And then Expand, which is rising in motherhood, and instinctual and conscious motherhood. So the Purify event is this month. I'm so excited to launch it. Please come and join me. And thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And thank you. Bye.